Hey there, hope you're having a wonderful day. In today's training, I'm going to be breaking down a 5-step process that's going to allow you to solve all of your client retention related issues for good. This brand new 5-step process is going to allow you to compete in a category of 1 in comparison to the rest of the online training marketplace, allowing you to farm those golden testimonials with ease in comparison to any other strategy you've heard of. So recently I conducted a survey within the online training space, and I spoke to trainers of all income ranges, including $2, $5, $10, and up to $20,000 per month. It seems that everyone is constantly focused on this issue of client retention and trying to maximize it for good reason. The two main reasons being the longer a client stays with you, the more income you gain from that client. And secondly, as personal trainers, the goal is to help people improve their health. And if they're constantly leaving you within a few weeks, you don't have the opportunity to do so and actually help them improve their health. After all, that's the main goal here. So, with this simple 5-step process, you're going to be able to solve all of your client retention related issues for good. Now, a question I'd like to ask you is, why are we all struggling with client retention? Well, the answer is simple. It's the industry's fault. The industry is hyper-focused on volume. And what I mean by volume is simply the number of clients you have under you. People are constantly asking the wrong questions, such as, how can I get more clients? How can I find more clients? And how can I sign more clients? When you're asking questions like these, and you're not focusing on the other aspects of your business, you're bound to end up with client retention related issues. We're all being sold on the idea of more clients equals a bigger business, which equals more money, which is fundamentally a losing mindset that leads us to our inevitable struggle with client retention. So in conclusion, it's not your fault if you're struggling with client retention currently. It's due to what the industry has been telling you. They pushed this ideology onto us, but now we're the ones dealing with the problems associated with it. So with that being said, let's jump into the 5 steps so we can begin to solve all client retention related issues for good. So what we're going to do is we're going to 1, solve all of your client retention related issues permanently. Number 2, we're also going to help you earn more money faster with less of a headache. And number 3, how to help you help your clients achieve their goals faster and with more ease. The 5 steps to perfect client retention are as listed, and what we're going to be doing is going through each one of them and the old strategies as well as the new strategy and why it's better. So component number 1 is going to be a personalized program. Number 2 is going to be the relationship or dynamic between coaches and clients. Number 3 is going to be the correct use of check-in calls and messages. Number 4 is going to be a community, and this is a huge point right here, so wait for that one. And lastly, progression and reinforcement. Starting off with a personalized program, let's go ahead and take a look at the old viewpoint or the old strategy. The old strategy is going to be to offer a one-size-fits-all program that you copy-paste to each client. This results in your client feeling unmotivated, feeling like their individual shortcomings have not been addressed or met with a solution. They feel that they could have gotten the same thing, if not better, through free internet content such as YouTube videos. This leads to them trying out your program that is, for a very short amount of time, seeing no inherent results or benefits, and then eventually leaving. However, the new strategy, which is to utilize a personalized program, is going to solve many of these problems for you. Offering a personalized program as opposed to a one-size-fits-all cookie-cutter program is invaluable to your business and your success. Clients immediately feel more engaged, motivated, and recognize a higher level of inherent value of working with you due to the use of a personalized program. The client also feels more cared for and feels that they have been heard and solutions have been created to meet their individual needs and problems, preventing them from reaching their health-related goals. So ensure that you are offering a personalized program That is step 1 of the 5-step process. Step number 2 is going to be going over the client and coach relationship and dynamic. In the old, we place the blame or majority of it on the client, focusing on their problems as opposed to formulating their solutions. They feel as if you are an authority as opposed to a friend. This leads to the client somewhat disliking you as a person. They aren't motivated by you. They don't feel positivity from you, and your presence becomes something that they would like to actually avoid instead of leaning into and engaging with further. This leads to the client leaving you to escape your unmotivating or negative energy and to get away from you for good, for comfort reasons. As opposed to the new relationship or dynamic that I'm suggesting, being the relationship and dynamic between you and your client is vital to your success as well as their success in terms of achieving their goals and yours. Everyone has experienced the average teacher in school, the boring teacher who has literally no connection with any of their students. People constantly skip their classes and perform poorly in their classes as well. The teacher puts the blame on the students and accepts this as the norm. In comparison to one or the very few awesome teachers who are full of energy and joy. They motivate their students and they know them all on a much closer level than any of the other teachers. Students don't skip their classes nearly as much as others, and they perform better in their classes as well. What I want you to do is to make it your mission to be the awesome coach, the standout amongst the crowd of boring and dull. Build quality relationships with your clients and get to know them on a personal level. It's easy to leave a coach or a trainer, but it's far more difficult to leave a good friend who also happens to be a driving factor in getting you to your desired health goals. Step number 2 is to build an excellent relationship with your clients. Now let's move on to step 3, being check-in calls and messages. So the old is basic text messages asking them if they worked out today and potentially what they've eaten. These are dull and unmotivating messages that have no presence or positivity. Replying back feels like a nuisance rather than something the client looks forward to. This leads to the client avoiding your messages or offering delayed responses, which will then cause you to feel like it's not worth your time. Eventually, both sides cancel out on this entirely, leading to the client hating check-ins and leaving as a result of this to avoid check-ins entirely in some cases. Well, on the new side, and the correct use of check-ins, is these are constant opportunities to show that you care and just how dedicated you are to helping your client achieve their goals. When check-in calls are done correctly and purposefully, each check-in should get your client further and further from ever even entertaining the idea of leaving you. It's an opportunity for you to see how they're doing and progressing. It's an opportunity for you to ask them what they're currently finding most difficult and then formulate a solution for that. It's an opportunity for you to share your new insights that may be useful to them in achieving their goals. And it's an opportunity for you to connect further and strengthen your relationship, touching on point number 2 once again. So now that we know how to use check-in calls purposefully and correctly, let's move on to step 4, which is arguably one of the most important steps within this 5-step process, being a community. So in previous cases, when people are just focused on more, being more clients, they often entirely miss out on building a community and skip this step. So your client is missing out on an entirely irreplaceable component, which I'm going to be going over right now. This is one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal. Having a community of like-minded individuals on a similar journey to your clients is truly irreplaceable. This step in itself can save your business from client retention-related issues if executed properly. Having a private community for your clients to hang out, discuss their problems, offer each other advice, motivate each other, and push each other further is truly invaluable. Everyone loves to feel a part of something special, something that not everyone has access to. Creating a positive community environment for your clients is going to allow them to build relationships and friendships with others on the same journey as them. How could they ever consider leaving all the people that they chat with on a regular basis? So imagine you have a private community where they're logging in, having a chat with other like-minded individuals every day, motivating each other. The incentive to stay with your program is much higher in comparison to someone who doesn't have this community. So do not skip out on this step. Build your private community and make sure it's of top quality, and I promise you, you're going to have a much better time with client retention. This brings us to our last step, which is progression and reinforcement. So in the old, we have presenting the client with a singular huge goal, making it seem nearly unachievable. Without smaller goals, they lack the pleasure of accomplishment and feel like they are actually progressing, and they actually miss out on the feeling of actually progressing towards their goal. This leads to significantly decreased motivation, feeling like their desires are being unachievable, and thus the client's going to leave. In comparison to the new, where we have mentioned, setting out on one goal can seem daunting to your client, and there's a reason they searched for external help to begin with. Smaller progressional goals leading to the end result offers a better experience for everyone. Creating several smaller goals that seem far more achievable than one huge goal being the end result, add an ideal timeline in which they should aim to hit each small goal, and this is going to incentivize them further. So by creating multiple smaller goals leading up to the big goal, they're going to be able to get those dopamine hits when they actually hit these smaller goals and feel that sense of accomplishment and progression and feel that the larger goal is actually attainable. As I mentioned, this allows the client to feel like they're constantly progressing with your help and that the end goal is actually realistic and achievable. It also is going to give them positivity and motivation when they achieve each small goal, reinforcing that what they're actually doing is working and actually that your advice or partnering with you is a result of that. So, by performing these 5 steps, what have we actually done? These 5 steps allowed you to leave all the other personal trainers within the marketplace behind. They're all still focused on more, being more clients, right? Meanwhile, your clients are actually achieving results and enjoying the process with you while doing so. You are now producing golden testimonials at such a high rate, your competitors are lost and questioning where they went wrong whilst begging their clients not to leave them. So, essentially by performing these 5 steps, what we've actually done is we've moved into high ticket area. High ticket personal trainers are way better at scaling than low ticket for many reasons, such as they can earn more whilst having less overall clients. They produced better results as we have more time to devote to each client individually. They're competing in a less saturated market. As we mentioned, they have better testimonials and better word-of-mouth reputation as a result of being able to give more time to each client and produce better results. And most importantly, they solve their client retention issues permanently. But also, by performing these 5 steps, we're providing far more value to the marketplace in comparison to our competitors. So this actually justifies charging far more to work with you. Meanwhile, we've gone high ticket, and the value we're providing justifies this high price. So as I mentioned, you need to perform these 5 steps right here in order to solve client retention. And by performing these 5 steps, whether you like it or not, you're actually providing your clients with a ton more value in comparison to any other personal trainer, thus justifying you to charge much more money as a result of that, meaning we've moved into high ticket territory. So now you're left with 2 options. You can tackle each of these 5 steps on your own, which is going to be difficult and time consuming, but definitely not impossible. Or B, you can seek help from industry experts to solve your client retention problems for good. So, as a bonus for you guys, the first 5 people to book a walkthrough session with Pump Acquisition are going to receive a full free audit of their current infrastructure, as well as they're going to be able to have 2 pieces of content edited for them for free by our personal editing team. But I just wanted to let you guys know that this is only going to apply to the first 5 walkthrough sessions booked. So if this seemed of interest to you, please follow this link, go ahead and book your free walkthrough session, and we'll be in touch soon. Thank you kindly. I hope you can solve your client retention issues permanently now, and have a great day.